Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we take, a really interesting topic, grab a whole load of information, and just try to get right to the heart of it for you.
Exactly. We know you want those aha moments
Yeah.
to really grasp what's important without getting lost in all the tiny details.
And that's the plan today. We're focusing on Matsumoto Yamaga FC's 2012 season.
Yeah, a really pivotal year for them. We've got this report, 2012 Shu, which basically lays out their whole journey into the J2 League, key players, big games, the whole narrative.
Right. Think of this as your quick guide to understanding why that season was so significant. Our mission really is to pull out the core insights, figure out why it mattered, especially, as their first time in J2.
Mm-hmm.
So, where do we start? How did they even get into J2? They weren't exactly top of the league below, were they?
That's a great question. And yeah, the report highlights it's a bit unusual. They actually finished fourth in the Japan Football League, the JFL, the year before.
So not an automatic promotion spot then?
Not typically, no. And you have to remember, the JFL back then was pretty much the third tier, because J3 didn't actually exist until 2014.
Okay, so fourth place. How did that translate into promotion?
Well, the report points to something crucial. Their stadium. They already had a ground that met J2 standards.
Infrastructure.
Exactly. That readiness, that sort of signal of ambition and stability seems to have been a really big factor in the league letting them in, even without that top three finish.
Right, so the stadium opened the door. But, you need more than nice seats to win games. What about the team itself, management, players?
Absolutely. A key move mentioned is bringing in Yasuharu Sorimachi as manager.
Oh yeah, he had J1 experience, didn't he? With Niigata and Shonen.
That's right. So he brought that higher level experience, which you'd imagine was pretty valuable for a team stepping up like this.
And they brought in players, too. It wasn't just the existing squad.
No, definitely not. The report lists quite a few signings. Permanent deals for Akinori Kusanose, Ryuji Ito, Yosuke Nozawa, and Takijuki Funayama.
Funayama, right.
And then loans to Shingoku Kida, Kohei Kiyama, plus Yoon Sung-yul arrived mid-season.
So a real effort to strengthen the squad for the J2 challenge.
Yeah, it looks like a very deliberate build, bringing in players to fit the demands of the higher league.
Okay, so stadium-ready, experienced manager, new signings. How did it actually go on the pitch, their first J2 season? What were the highlights?
Well, the first milestone, their very first J-League goal, came pretty early. Round 2, March 11th against Yamagata. Kenta Tsurumaki scored it.
Nice. Getting off the mark quickly. And the first win.
Just a week later, round 3, March 17th, they beat Kitakyushu 1-0.
Okay, so those early hurdles cleared. That must have felt good for confidence.
Definitely. And the report notes they showed real consistency later on. They actually had 2 separate unbeaten streaks of 7 matches each.
7 matches, twice.
Yeah. One run from round 25 to 31, and another from round 33 to 39. For a team new to the league, that's impressive. Shows real resilience.
And that must have pushed them up the table quite a bit.
It certainly did. By the end of that second run, end of round 39, they're actually up in 9th place.
9th. So potentially within shouting distance of the promotion playoffs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is pretty remarkable for a team to their first J2 season. They were genuinely in the mix.
Wow. So did they make it? What was the final position?
They ended up finishing 12th. So they just missed out on those playoff spots in the end.
Okay, 12th. Still respectable. But the report stresses something else, doesn't it? About their overall record.
Yes, and this is quite significant historically. They were apparently the first newly joined J2 team since way back in 1999 to finish their debut season with a winning record.
A winning record. More wins than losses.
Yep, 15 wins, 14 draws, 13 losses. And a positive goal difference too, +3. So they weren't just making up the numbers, they were properly competitive.
That does put a different spin on 12th place, more than just survival. And they had good backing, the fans.
Huge backing. The report says they had the 3rd highest average attendance in the entire J2 league that season.
3rd highest for a new team.
Yeah. Speaks volumes about the fan base, doesn't it? That kind of support can really lift a team.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's get into the tactics a bit. How were they setting up on the field? The report mentions a primary formation.
Yeah, they mainly went with a 3-4-2-1.
3 at the back, 4 across the middle, 2 behind a lone striker.
That's the basic idea. 3 center backs, then often wing backs providing width in midfield, 2 central midfielders, 2 attacking midfielders or shadow strikers, and 1 main forward. It could be quite flexible.
And who are the main guys filling those roles?
Well, up top, they eventually settled on Shogo Shiozawa as the main striker.
Okay.
Behind him, in those shadow striker roles, Takayuki Funiyama was a regular, often alongside Kento Tsurumaki. Though the report does say there was rotation, with Tetsuya Kojima and Akinori Kusunoza getting game time there too.
And the engine room, central midfield.
That was frequently Kohei Kiyama and Yun Sung-yul.
Right. And the width, the wingbacks.
Hiroshi Tetsudo on the left, and Mutsumi Tamabayashi usually on the right. The report even gives Tamabayashi's birth date, October 12, 1984. Little details like that.
Adds a bit of color. And the defense. The back three and the keeper.
The center backs, reading left to right generally, were Atsuro Tatara, Kazuya Io, and Masaki Aida. And in goal, for most of the season, it was Yosuke Nozawa.
Most of the season.
Yeah, there's a note about him getting injured after a match in August against Toyama. Yujo Shirai took over between the sticks after that.
Ah, okay. Any standout players for consistency? Someone who was always there?
Yes. Atsuro Tatara, the report makes a point of highlighting him. Played every single minute of all 43 league and cup matches.
Every minute. Wow.
Full 90 minutes every game. Incredible reliability from a central defender.
That's immense. Right, let's move on to the really juicy stuff, the memorable matches.
Wow.
The report picks out 5. Where do we start? Match 1.
Okay, first one. Jado round 1, the opener against Tokyo Verdy away, March 4th. Obviously significant as their first ever J2 match. They lost 2-0. So maybe a bit of a reality check early on. But the real story of this match wasn't the result.
This was the fan thing, right, that opened the second-tier movement?
Exactly. It apparently started with a fan at a preseason event setting this crazy goal. Get 5,000 Yamaga fans to the away game at Ajinomoto Stadium.
Because Verdy didn't usually get huge crowds, so the top tier was often closed.
Precisely. So these Yamaga fans thought, let's fill it. Let's make them open the second tier. They even had online interactions, like videos, with Verdy fans about it.
And did they do it?
Did they ever?
Yeah.
The report says 6,855 Yamaga supporters turned up. Incredible numbers for an away following. And yes, they got the second tier opened.
That's amazing. What a statement from the fans. The report suggests searching the Japanese phrase.
Yeah, very basically make them open the second tier. A fantastic story of fan power.
Incredible. Okay, match 2. Round 3 against Jurevons Kitakyushu. This one ended better for Yamaga.
Much better. March 17th, their first ever J2 win. A 1-0 victory.
And the goal scorer.
It was Masaki Aida, the center back, with a header in the 19th minute.
A defender getting the first wins goal. And the report mentions he became known for headers later on.
That's right. It notes this was his only goal in 2012, but he developed a real knack for scoring with his head in later seasons, right up until 2019, apparently. So maybe an early sign.
Interesting. Okay, match 3. Round 22 against Shonen Bellmare. Not a win this time, a draw, but still significant.
Yeah, very significant for morale, it seems. July 1st, a 1-1 draw against Shonen, who were flying high, like 4th in the table. Getting a result against the top team like that. Huge boost.
And it was dramatic, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Takayuki Funiyama scored the equalizer deep into stoppage time, 90 plus 3 minutes.
Right at the end. That must have felt like a win.
Absolutely. Those late goals really inject belief.
Okay, match 4. The return game against Tokyo Verdy. Round 23. Revenge time.
You could say that, and they got it. A 3-2 win against Verdy, who were actually top of the league at that point.
Beating the league leaders. Who got the goals?
Kento Tsurumaki scored, Mutsumi Tamabayashi got one, and Shogo Shiozawa got the winner. A fantastic result.
And there was that nice moment with the opposition player, too.
Yeah, Kiryu Sugimoto, who was on loan at Verdy, had just been picked for the Japan Olympic squad for London, and the Yamaga fans actually gave him a cheer, showed their support. Classy touch.
It really is. Okay, 5th and final memorable match. Round 35 against Gainare Tottori. Looks like a goal fest.
Oh, completely. A massive 7-1 win for Matsumoto Yamaga. Just total dominance.
7. Who scored?
Let's see. Yuji Fujikawa started it, then Shiozawa, then Funiyama grabbed a hat-trick.
Funiyama again. A hat-trick.
Yep, 3 goals for him. Atsuda Tatara, the ever-present defender, even got on the score sheet, and Kazuya rounded it off.
And Funiyama made a habit of hat-tricks.
Apparently so. The report mentions he got more in 2013 and 2014 as well. Clearly knew where the goal was.
And there's something unusual before this game, too. Something about a wedding.
Huh, yeah. An all-win wedding. All-win's their mascot. It was some kind of pre-match event, bringing Yamaga and Tottori supporters together. Nice bit of community spirit.
A lovely touch. Been ironic before 7-1 thrashing, perhaps.
Maybe slightly.
So, after all that excitement, those highs and lows, how did the season actually wrap up? They were close to the playoffs.
Yeah, the disappointment came in round 40. A loss to Tochigi SC officially ended their hopes of making the promotion playoffs.
Ah, shame. And the final position was 12th, as you said.
That's right, 12th place.
But looking back, despite missing the playoffs, the overall picture seems really positive for a debut season.
Overwhelmingly positive, I'd say. That winning record, the positive goal difference, breaking that historical stat from 1999, it was a really strong first showing in J2. Laid a great foundation.
So, wrapping this up, what are the main things we should take away from this deep dive into Matsumoto Yamaga's 2012?
Well, I think there are a few key things. First, that unique promotion, how infrastructure mattered just as much as league position. Second, the smart recruitment, both the manager Sorimachi and the players they brought in.
Right.
Third, their performance on the pitch, exceeding expectations, those unbeaten runs, the winning record. Really impressive stuff for newcomers.
And the fans.
Absolutely. Can't forget the fans. That incredible support, third highest attendance. It was clearly a massive factor all season long.
It paints a picture of a club doing a lot of things right as they stepped up. So, a final thought for you, the listener. Thinking about Yamaga's successful first year in J2, what do you reckon are the absolute key ingredients for any team making that leap to a higher level? Is it the tactics, the star players, the manager, or maybe that passionate fan base makes the biggest difference? Something to think about.
Definitely food for thought.
For the deep dive, that's all we have time for. Thanks for joining us.